Hey, what's up, guys? It's Kyle here from Dead Rock Games, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about object pooling today. I was reading one of the game dev subreddits this afternoon, and there seemed to be just a little bit of misunderstanding as to when it might be useful to implement something like object pooling for your game. And maybe it's something that you need to look into, maybe not. Hopefully I can help you figure that out today. That is the purpose of this video. The footage you're watching now is from our game Centurion. It is a kind of bullet hell, bullet heaven sci-fi shooter, and we use object pooling in the game. And so I thought I could talk a little bit about the performance improvements that we've seen, specifically with our game. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out this demo that I have set up. What you're seeing here, it might look like a glitch, but this is one of our little bad guys from Centurion, and he is being repeatedly created and destroyed, as you can see by the name there, over and over again. About 30 creations and 30 destructions per second to maintain 60 frames per second. So he gets created on one frame, destroyed on the next, rinse and repeat. And this is the kind of create and destroy method of making objects in your game. It's the most basic thing that you would do. Now, if we switch over to object pooling, this doesn't look any different, but this little guy was only created one time and stored in an array, and now every frame he is being moved to a random location on the screen, and on the subsequent frame he is being moved off screen. And the way that we're accessing him is just iterating through that array and changing his position. So he was created once, and then we're just moving him around. And it turns out that this is much more performant as you start to get into the thousands of objects. But why don't we go ahead and switch back to create and destroy, and let's see how this performs. Keep an eye on the FPS and the total memory that is being used. Just to explain this real quick, this is the actual used memory. This is in JavaScript right now, running on the web. So this is the used memory, and then JavaScript will automatically set aside a little bit of extra space as these actual memory needs start to increase. So let's go ahead and crank this up to 100. Bam, look at that. And we can see the memory start to tick up, and let's just keep adding more and more and more. Let's get up to about 1,000 of these guys screaming around the screen. Hopefully this doesn't give you a seizure. But we can see the memory is really starting to creep up now, which is, to be expected, but maybe not this much for what we're getting. And as we start to get into around the 1,500 range, this starts to actually affect the FPS, and then we get to a couple thousand, and we're already dipping below 30. And if we crank this up to 3,000 or 4,000, we're in a straight up slideshow mode. That's the limit. So we'll say for a smooth ride with the create and destroy without anything else going on, we're not taking into account collision detection or anything else that you might have going on in your game. You're looking at about 1,000 objects if you want to maintain 60 frames per second without much else going on. Okay, let's see how object pooling does. Same thing. Crank it up to 100, 1,000, 2,000, not even breaking a sweat yet, 3,000, 4,000, all the way up to 10,000. Still smooth as butter. Total memory being used is barely moving. It is really performant. The FPS is staying at 60. So this is like the gold standard for code. Lower memory usage, higher efficiency. What else could you ask for? Let's see if we can get this up to 20,000. And no problem. 20,000 objects. And again, just moving back and forth, moving back and forth. That's all the computer's doing right now. So this is clearly the way that you want to go if you are going to be dealing with a high number of objects, and you're going to need to be updating them and potentially creating and destroying them, except hiding them off screen. So that is basically object pooling, and I thought I would build a little demo to actually show you guys how this works. Now, if we want to, we can go ahead and just take a quick look at the code over here. And you can see the create and destroy function here. This counter is being incremented. This is basically running every tick. So this is every other one, creating, destroying. You get the idea. There's nothing complicated here. Object pooling, it's not that complicated. You initialize the pool. This is where you create the objects, and then you're pushing them to this array. And then when you go to update the pool, all you do is you just run through that array and then change them accordingly. Obviously, this is very basic. In a real game, there would have to be some other calculations being done here to probably figure out where those objects are going, probably also some collision detection, what have you, but you get the idea. This is definitely an efficiency upgrade when you start dealing with lots of objects. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, and if you like this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and I'd be happy to make more of these videos to help you become a better game dev. All right. See you in the next one.